Good morning, everyone. It is 11:30 a.m. ET, and you know what that means. If you're a regular, it is first chapter fun. Good morning, Jennifer, down on Instagram. Lovely to see you, and Lisa as well. This isn't the first time you two have joined. Hi, Lisa Barr. Very, very happy that you're here, and Amy too. Wow, we've got lots of people popping up. This is fantastic. So many of you, this is not your first time at the rodeo, or hi, girl loves dogs, books and wine. That's my favourite time. This is, of course, for many of you, not your first time at the first chapter fun rodeo, but for those of you who it is, this is the place where every day up until early May at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, I am reading the first chapter from a new book on Instagram Live and Facebook Live simultaneously. Now, as has happened before, sometimes the connection drops. Sometimes Facebook just boots me out because it either wants to shut me up or doesn't like what I have to say. Or maybe it's just technical issues and I shouldn't take it personally. In any case, if that happens, I will continue recording on the platform that allows me to, or that has kept me, and I will go back to the one that has booted me. So if your connection drops, don't worry, I will come back and I will restart the recording on whichever platform hasn't worked out. But so far, crossing my fingers, it's been going well. So we have more people joining. We have Ali up on Facebook, and Lisa also. She's doing the whole Instagram and Facebook thing, and Hank Philippi Ryan is always watching almost every day. Thank you, Hank, you're always joining. Such a thrill. We have Sanika and Kendra down on Facebook Live. This is fantastic. So pleased you can all join us. So happy Friday and Passover if you celebrate, or Good Friday if you celebrate. To be honest, when I was a kid, I always used to think it was called Good Friday because A, I didn't have school, and B, I knew that on Sunday I'd get a chocolate bunny. You know, that was about my extent of understanding about it when I was little. So, what do I have in store for you today? Well, today I have The Unbreakables by the amazing Lisa Barr. There we go, there's that cover. Isn't that gorgeous? We decided that the model on the cover looks a little bit like Emma Stone, wouldn't you agree? Isn't that lovely? And you can just tell it has a European feel, I think. Having lived in Europe, that certainly was what I thought when I first saw the cover. So, Lisa is watching on both Instagram Live and Facebook, so please leave a comment about reading the book or whatever it is, or a question for Lisa. How does she plot her novels? Where does she get her ideas from? Has she been to France because it's set in France? Has she studied art because there's a lot of art in it? So ask away, ask tons of questions. Now, I started a book club in January actually, because I went as a guest to a book club and they'd chosen one of my books and it was really lovely. And I decided to start one of my own, and this was a suggestion from Sanika actually, who's watching on Instagram and who's a very good friend of mine, and this was the one that she suggested, and we read it, and Lisa zoomed in with us for book club. So we had an online discussion because we moved the book club online, social distancing and all that, and it was absolutely fabulous. So did you know, watchers and listeners, did you know that you can ask authors to join your book club, say on Skype or FaceTime or Zoom or whatever technology is available? And many of us say yes very enthusiastically because it's always so much fun. So if you do have a book club, or if you're part of a book club, I would always suggest, if you really like a book, don't do it if you hated it, because that would be weird. But if you really enjoyed the book and you want to have a good discussion with the author, just send them a note, send them an email, send them fill in the contact form, whatever it is. Just ask. What's the worst that can happen? They can say no, or they don't answer at all. But many of us love joining book clubs, and it's always really fun. So don't hesitate. We're not some weird people who just, squirrel away in our sheds writing. Some of us do, but we love engaging with readers. Most of us love engaging. I don't want to talk for everyone, but most authors love engaging with their readers. So just ask. like I said, what's the worst that could happen? You say no, and that's okay. So, I'm going to show you the cover of this book again. Now that I've waffled on long enough to bore you to tears, here we go. This is The Unbreakables by Lisa Barr. Thank you, Audio Shelf. Here we go. So let me tell you a little bit about Lisa. She's fabulous. She's absolutely amazing. So listen to this. Lisa Barr is the award-winning author of The Unbreakables and the historical thriller Fugitive Colors, a suspenseful tale of stolen art, love, lust, deception and revenge on the eve of World War II. That novel, so it's called Fugitive Colours, won the Independent Publisher Book Awards, or IPPY for short, gold medal for Best Literary Fiction in 2014 and first prize at the Hollywood Film Festival, the Opus Magnum Discovery Award. In addition, Lisa has served as an editor for the Jerusalem Post, managing editor of Today's Chicago Women, managing editor of Moment magazine, and she's been an editor and reporter for the Chicago Sun-Times. I don't know how you do it, Lisa. How do you fit all of that in? Plus you've got kids and everything. It's just crazy. Where were we? Among the highlights of her career, Lisa covered the famous handshake between the late Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, the late PLO leader Yasser Arafat, and President Bill Clinton at the White House. Lisa is also the creator and editor of the popular parroting blog Guerrilla Warfare, that's girl, G-I-R-L, Illa, so Girl Illa Warfare, can't say it properly, guerrillawarfare.com. She has been featured on Good Morning America and Today for her work as an author, journalist and blogger. And on a personal note, she lives in the Chicago area with her husband and 3 daughters, which she refers to as Drama Central, which made me laugh. I have 3 boys, so it's maybe less Drama Central as it is we're going to fart on each other Central, because I don't know, whatever. So, without further ado, I shall read you the summary, not the summary, you know what I mean, the book blurb, the back cover copy, and the first chapter, part of the first chapter of The Unbreakables. And this is an amazing book. I absolutely tore through it. It's brilliant. Just take my word for it and read it. So this is the summary, and all of this, of course, is read with the permission from HarperCollins. The worst birthday ever might just be the gift of a lifetime. It's Sophie's Bloom 42nd birthday, and she's ready for a night of celebration with Gabe, her long-time devoted husband, and her 2 besties and their spouses. Dinner is served with a side of delicious gossip, including which North Grove residents were caught with their pants down on Ashley Madison after the secret online dating site for married and committed couples was hacked. 32 million cheaters worldwide have been exposed, including Sophie's perfect husband. To add insult to injury, she learns Gabe is the top cheater in their town. Humiliated and directionless, Sophie jumps into the unknown and flees to France to meet up with her teenage daughter, who's studying abroad and nursing her own heartbreak. After a brief visit to Paris, Sophie heads out to the artist enclave of Saint-Paul-de-Vence. There, for the first time in a long time, Sophie acknowledges her own desires, not her husband's, not her daughter's, and rediscovers her essence with painful honesty and humour, reawakening both her sensuality and ambitions as a sculptor. As she sheds her past and travels the obstacle-filled, off-the-beaten path, Sophie Bloom is determined to blossom, allowing her true self to emerge in the postcard beauty of Provence. Sophie must decide what is broken forever and what it means to be truly unbreakable. So that is the blurb for The Unbreakables, for those of you who have just joined. Let me show you the cover again of this absolutely stunning book. There we go. The Unbreakables by Lisa Barr. and I will now read you part of the first chapter. So this is The Unbreakables by Lisa Barr. Chapter 1. Gabe, my husband, still incredibly sexy at 42, approaches me from behind in our walk-in closet, wraps his muscular arms tightly around my waist, and kisses my neck hungrily. Truth be told, I heard his approaching footsteps 30 seconds earlier, stomping across our hardwood floor from the shower, pretended as though I didn't, and let him think he pulled one over on me. I sink against his bare chest, still slightly damp, feeling those wispy hairs like feathers against my back. God, he feels good. His warm hands cup my breasts as he gently turns us both to face the full-length mirror on the back of the door. I look, unintentionally, pretty damn porn, wearing a lacy black strapless push-up bra and matching panties, my favourite high-heeled sandals, clutching my new birthday dress, a one-shouldered, form-fitting snorkel blue number, which I was about to put on pre-Gabe interruptus. His clean-shaven face nestles into my blowout. It really has been a while, a few months perhaps, since he's made this particular move, which is slightly surprising. But if I'm totally honest with myself, nothing really surprises me about us anymore, and sometimes I wish it did. There are those days when I go for my morning run and wonder what would happen if I just kept going past the 3-mile marker and never looked back. Where would that road take me? It's more of a passing thought than a tangible want. I love my husband. We are each other's history, having chalked up more than 25 years together from high school seniors onward. So many years, so many sexual encounters, that Gabe's closet seduction feels a little bit rom-com predictable. The left hook you know is coming, and yet I smile into the mirror. We're still good. Still us. Happy birthday, babe, he whispers into my ear, while tracing my body in a more demanding way, which, if I don't put a stop to where this is headed, will definitely make us late to my own birthday dinner in the city. Do you believe I'm sleeping with a 42-year-old? That's 2 21-year-olds to you, bitch, I retort playfully, as I tenderly pull away but kiss him first, long and lingering, a kiss that says I'm not rejecting you, just delaying you. We've got to get moving. We're already going to be 20 minutes late. You know Samantha and Eric. Dinner's at 7:30, but they'll be there at 7. I tenderly graze my finger over the slim scar next to his left eyebrow. Continue this later? Gabe nods his disappointment, his towel sliding off his waist in the process, and I catch it, anticipating the fall, as I do just about everything else about my husband. As predicted, Samantha and Eric are already at Fig and Olive, the swanky new French Mediterranean restaurant downtown that everyone is talking about. So are Lauren and Matt. Not only are we running half an hour late, but also traffic from the burbs to the city is pure hell, much worse than usual. And it's a Tuesday night. There must have been an accident up ahead somewhere. By the time we take the tiny elevator up to the Oak Street restaurant, our best friends are already well into their second round at the large rectangular bar, the ornate centrepiece of the dining room. "Sophie!" my girls scream out, waving their wine goblets in the air, crimson liquid bouncing over the rims. "Over here!" As though I don't see them, as though everyone else doesn't hear them. I laugh to myself. Hillbilly suburbanites, the Clampettes let out of their 3-car garages. "I love this place. Everybody's so hip." Samantha points to her extremely low-cut dress. "Too slutty. Eric thinks so. Who cares, right? Happy birthday, gorgeous mama." Perfect amount of slutty. "You look great." I squeeze her tightly. Samantha and Lauren have been my closest friends since high school, and they both smell amazing. A mix of Cabernet and Joe Malone. I, of course, am wearing the same scent. We bought our new perfume together last weekend at Neyman's. We pretty much don't make a move without the other's tacit approval. Our group of 6 has been together for years. Eric is a college add-on, but the rest of us have been friends since high school. We vacation together, celebrate every milestone and holiday together. Every important occasion is shared with one another. Samantha and Eric, Lauren and Matt, Sophie and Gabe, and our kids. I'm happy this way, like curl up in a favourite blanket on a rainy day happy. No matter what life brings, ups and downs, twists and turns, these are my people. So, what are we eating? Lauren asks, after we're seated at our table, her long French manicured fingers skimming the menu. Lauren's nails, unlike mine, are always perfect, always chipless, even days after a manicure. Mine chip 5 seconds after I leave the salon because I don't have the patience to wait and dry. I don't find beautifying therapeutic, though I do all the maintenance because one must. Mani-pedis, blowouts, waxing facials and yoga, the absolute worst. My mind goes into overdrive when I'm told to be still, be present or hold a pose. I'm an artist, was an artist. The only time I ever sat still was when I was in my 20s, studying an object that I planned to sculpt. My artwork back then was considered cutting edge and exhibited in galleries around the city and selling. It was everything I had ever dreamed of until severe carpal tunnel syndrome took over and prevented me from doing what I love most. The doctors, for unanimous opinions, insisted I stop sculpting or I'd cause irreversible nerve damage to my hands. I was willing to take the chance, but realised there were things bigger than my passion. Actually, only one thing. I needed to reserve my hands, my strength, for my then precocious 5-year-old Ava, now 19. So I gave up what I loved most for someone I loved even more. Now I run the arts centre in town and represent local artists' work. I enjoy my job, but not a day goes by that I don't yearn for what was, who I once was, so much potential cut off before hitting my prime. I buried my own dream, cut my losses, and now I bring others' visions to light. It's the consolation prize that never really consoles. Hey, Soph, you with us? I smile at Lauren, who has asked me twice what I wanted to eat. My birthday, my choices. I glance at my friends and my husband. You guys pick, surprise me. Eric, who always takes control of every group food event, happily orders us an assortment of appetizers. The marinated olives come first, followed by more wine, 6 types of crostini, beef something, mushroom croquettes, then more wine. We catch up on our hometown's latest gossip, particularly the Elm Street temporary road closure, the town's main drag, a construction project that's taking 3 months longer than promised to complete, killing everyone's route and making driving around town unbearable. Matt raises his glass. Here's to the Great Wall of China, the Hoover Dam, the Colosseum, all built in less time than the goddamn Elm Street construction project. We all laugh and clink glasses. It's like living in the third world, Gabe complains, just as the overly exuberant waiter, who is definitely an actor, brings in the entrees. Took me nearly 30 extra minutes to get to the hospital yesterday. My patient was having complications and I'm watching that goddamn crane dump cement in slow-mo. I was going out of my mind. Can we talk about something other than Elm Street? So boring already. That's all anyone talks about these days. Lauren sighs, then inspects her nails approvingly. Eric, mouth full, leans forward with a mischievous glint in his eye. Well, I've got something for us that's definitely not boring. I was saving this for later, when we're all sufficiently buzzed. Sure you've all heard about the Ashley Madison lists. Fucking train wreck. Ashley Madison, I slur slightly, after having tossed back glass 2. Never heard of her. It's not a her, Samantha explains. Where have you been? It's a thing, an online company, a despicable website for married cheaters. Their motto is, life is short, have an affair. Apparently it was hacked a few weeks ago and it's turned into a total shitstorm. I read about it on my newsfeed. Oh, right, I nod. Someone from the club was talking about it yesterday in the locker room. I wasn't really paying attention. I look over at Gabe, who has begun a meticulous operation on his filet mignon, always the surgeon. I glance over at Eric and Matt and smile, surprised that they have waited this long before making fun of Gabe. Eric sees what I see, points to Gabe. Steak surgery. Scalpel? He hands Gabe his knife. Gabe looks up without cracking a smile. arsehole. We all laugh, drink more wine, and Eric holds up his brand new iPhone with its extra large face and shines the phone's blaring light directly at us. The restaurant lighting is so dim that the phone casts a blinding grey-blue hue across the sleek ebony table. Back to more interesting stuff. Apparently the hackers stole all of Ashley Madison's database. Emails, names, home addresses, sexual fantasies and credit card information. And threatened to post all of the details online if the site wasn't permanently closed. Of course, the Ashley Madison honchos thought they were bluffing. The site stayed open and the hackers are now making good on their threat. The cheaters are now being cheated out of their anonymity. Jeepers. How many people are we talking about? Lauren asks. Eric shoots us a wry smile. Get this. The database estimates are well over 32 million cheaters. And the outreach is as far away as Saudi Arabia. And that, my friends, is cheating punishable by death or stoning, not just being kicked out of a house and forced to couch crash. You enjoy this shit, Matt says accusingly, wrapping his arm around the back of Lauren's chair. Hell yeah, Eric smirks devilishly, holds up his phone again, this time high overhead, as though he's at a Springsteen concert, demanding an encore via phone come lighter. What's wrong with you? Put that down, Samantha scolds Eric. You're embarrassing us. Let me tell you what we're about to enjoy. Eric places the phone face up on the table. Apparently the hackers chose today, Eric turns to me, your birthday, Soph, to release its first round of customer records. This Impact team, or whatever the bullshit hacker name is, says they're planning to release the names of cheaters all month. But today, July 21st, he speaks slowly, purposely building up the suspense, is the debut of Chicago and its friendly, make that very friendly, suburbs. Nearly 20 pages of names on this infamous list belong to our very own, very cosy North Grove. No shit. Matt takes a generous swig of wine. We all do. Eric nods. Yeah, someone from work emailed me the list, and I've held on to this baby for 6 straight hours without looking at it, and you can only imagine the torture. I saved it for us, for tonight. I thought we'd review the list of our town's cheaters together. He turns to me, faux apologetically. Dark and evil, I know. Happy birthday, Soph. Who is on the list? Oh, well, you'll have to read it to figure out what the heck happens after that birthday. Worst birthday ever, I mean, seriously. That was part of the first chapter of the amazing The Unbreakables by Lisa Barr. It's fantastic. It's just brilliant. I absolutely loved it. As I mentioned, read it with the book club, and we all enjoyed it, all of us. So that was today's episode of First Chapter Fun. I hope you enjoyed that. Tomorrow we have The Green Line. I keep wanting to call this one The Green Mile. No, wrong book. This is The Green Line by E.C. Diskin, which is fantastic. This was her debut and we chose that one. There's a reason why, but you'll have to tune in tomorrow to find out. So that will be tomorrow's First Chapter Fun. So this has been quite a long episode today. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening to the first chapter of The Unbreakables. As always, I will save this episode to Facebook. I will post it on my Instagram story. So if you joined later on, no worries. You will find it either on Facebook or on Instagram. And happy Good Friday or Passover, whichever one, or just happy Friday, you know, TGIF, if that's what you celebrate, let's celebrate that too. So I hope you have a lovely day, first day to the long weekend, although weekends and days all seem to blur a bit at this point. But in any event, please, as always, stay safe, stay kind, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.